Come on in, everyone. It's going to be a very revealing, exposing show. This is for the books. Records are going to be set straight. Not playing any games. Got to expose things. It's my truth. I'm going to tell it. You're going to get it. Naming names. Laying it down for you with the law. Let's get this. Everyone needs to not just understand. They need to overstand. They need to really get what's happening. And the more people that actually get what's happening, it's going to change the world. The world changing. We're changing. It's happening. Hey, there wouldn't be 51 indictments if they weren't so afraid. Understand. This is fear. It's fear out loud, in your face, in writing. People don't do things like that unless they are threatened. They are threatened because the law is on the side of what we are doing. The music's not going to continue to play. I'm just getting people in the room. Let's get people in the live. Let's get them in. Come on. Share, tell a friend. It's going to be worth something. It's not talking about Egyptians. We're not talking about ancient Americans. We're not talking about what's an Indian. We're talking about what does it mean? What does it mean that you're an Indian and not an African? What does that mean to you? What does that generate in your life? What difference does that make? Why does it matter? That's what this is about. What they don't want you to know. That's what I'm getting ready to give you. What they really don't want you to understand. All right? Come on, babies. Let's get this. Okay. Let's get an example of, this is just an introduction of how we get comfortable with lies that we're told, right? And this is the thing. My ignorance, your ignorance, we all are ignorant on purpose. But they put us in jail every day, not because we are guilty, but because we're ignorant of what our rights are. They take our land, they take our rights every day, not because they have the power, but because we don't have the information. We don't have the knowledge. It's not about them being, oh, so powerful. Oh, no, it's about what we don't know. Ignorance makes you a victim. We are a victim of our ignorance, and our ignorance is not our fault because we have been very carefully taught to be ignorant. You have been taught by your own people. Oh, African and the transatlantic. What? And this has only been pushed since I was in high school. It wasn't when I was in grade school. They weren't pushing the transatlantic. They weren't pushing it out of Africa. Yeah, they talked about us being slaves, but they really didn't talk about us being Africans when I was in grade school. They didn't call a Frederick Douglass an African American when I was in grade school. He was a colored man. He was a Negro. They have retroactively fitted all of our historic people and our own family into being African. Did y'all not notice what they're doing? They can't label us, back label us. How is daggone Booker T. Washington an African now? African American. That's not what he was called at that time at all. Louis Armstrong, African American? He never called himself an African American. They retrofitting us with a misnomer, a misname. They are erasing us with false titles. And we are, when you don't say anything, you're consenting. You understand me? Silence is consent, and they need consent from the Indians, but we don't know that. And we don't know that our silence is consent. This is going to be long. I'm going to go as long as I need to, okay? This is going to be long. Record it, keep it. This is going to be long, okay? Because I'm going to get into whatever the ancestors tell me to. And I got some juicy things to get into. All right. So, like I said, what does it mean? What difference does it make to be an Indian? See, it's really weird because a lot of the people that are talking about it don't really have anything that they're doing about it. Like they're not in my position where I'm trying to fight for what's been stolen from my people and my family and my kinfolk. You know, they're just talking, right? But the next stage of them talking should be that they are actually understanding exactly who they come from, what be the expert of their true history, and then reclaiming that and everything that's attached to that true identity that you have, whatever it is. Because some of y'all are European, some of y'all are Black Irish or whatever. Some of y'all are that. Some of y'all are mixed with that. Some of y'all. But some of y'all, especially those in Virginia and some of these first contact places, are purely the Indigenous American Indians. And you just don't know it. Your grandmom said you was Cherokee or Blackfoot or whatever, and you just took it, meh, you know. You didn't like, it didn't you didn't let it, because your teachers were telling you something else, right? But we have been carefully mistaught, and we'll get into that another day. But right now I want to get into this, so let me go and give you this. Okay, so this is what they do. For the Accawmacke, Indian Town Road. Well, that speaks for itself. It's Indian Town Road, right? Indian Town Road, they're showing you a plat, a piece of land that they say they allotted for the Accawmacke Indians back in the 1600s. Now, I don't even see, this is the thing. They lie so much. They lie so much you can't even tell if this is true, right? Because the more you dig into a lie, the more it falls apart, and you find out it has no foundation, it has no substance, it has no merit to it. So when you look at this plat, it looks shady as I don't know what. First of all, in this book that was written by Helen Roundtree, who came to the Eastern Shore and wanted to talk to some of the Negroes. Why did she want to talk to the Negroes? She was looking for the Gingaskin Indians. And where do you find them? You find them with the Negro people. Why do you find them with the Negro people? Because the Negroes are the Indians. That's why. Understand that. That's why she was trying to talk to my cousins and kinfolk and my grandparents, because the Negroes are the American Indians. Period. It's not an argument. It's a fact. So, Indiantown Road and Indiantown Recreational Park. So she drew this map. Why? For the people who have stolen land, which is really stupid anyway, because all within this map, this plat, are people that have built houses and started businesses and are farming, right? So how is it that these people think it's okay that this so-called anthropologist who is how do you look at yourself in the mirror when you're writing things that are untrue? But see, this is the thing. The purpose of a lot of these so-called historians and anthropologists is to assist in the theft of land. That is a fact. You have to get that in your head. Okay. So let's look at this. This is the plat. This is what she drew, but she drew it. Look, she drew it so that it stops right before the Langford highway right there. It stops right before. It stops at the railroad. This is stopping at the railroad tracks or something weird. No, it looks like it's stopping at the It looks like it's stopping at the road. Actually, stopping at the road. So it really isn't fraudulent, but they drew others that stop even further back to the railroad tracks, right? Now, they keep redrawing it because of what they don't want you to say is within the plat, because for all these many, many years, my kinfolk, my relatives, my cousins, my aunties, my grandmothers never said anything about this. We never really had anything to do with talking about the Gingaskin thing because it's been erased from us for so long. Our identity has been legally denied our right to even call ourselves Indian. So many of us just said, yeah, we Cherokee. To the children. That's what the grandparents said. They really didn't want to talk about being Indian because of the terrorism and all the abuse that was heaped upon them for actually declaring what they truly were. And we're talking about hundreds of years of this, okay? So, we are the first people, so-called, to have a reservation, and we are the first people to have it removed, so-called. So we had it 1600. It was removed by 1813 or whatever. Is that real? It's not real. And the reason it's not real is that they actually boldly teach this. They teach it in Helen Roundtree's book. They teach it in their historical information online. They teach it in the schools. But the reality, what they don't teach is by law, the state can't legally remove anything. So when they teach that the Virginia Assembly removed it, they're teaching a lie. It cannot happen. Even according to their rules and regulations, that cannot be applied. So when a newspaper writes an article and says, well, the Gingaskin Reservation was removed, you know the history. You're going to tell me a whole newspaper hasn't looked into the fact that the Virginia Assembly has no authority, had never had any authority to remove anything from the Indians. See, these people know that they're lying about the fake daggone history that they're teaching, but they don't tell the truth. Even in the newspaper, even in the Library of Virginia, they do lie. See, that's the problem. Everything they do is built on a bunch of massive lies. And if you don't investigate this, how are you ever going to know? You're just going to stay in your ignorance. Well, see, here's the plat. They got a letter recording the trustees and all this in 1789. Incidentally, that's the same time when they removed a bunch of us free Indians from the Eastern Shore and sent us to Nova Scotia. the date in this this patent, this act, okay? No purchases of land shall be made of the Indian natives, but on the behalf of the public. Now that's from the General Assembly. See, they contradict even what their own assembly has put into law, into statute, okay? They lie about everything. But it doesn't matter because states do not have power over nations. And we as Indians are nations. No land purchase from the Indians. That is not happening. They never could do that. They can't do it now. They keep redrawing it. I'm showing that what they draw and what's the reality goes from sea to daggone. It goes. It's not 690 acres. We're talking more than 1,600 acres. The actual land is like more like 3,000, more like 8,000. These people are lying. They keep shaving off numbers, and you can see it because they're not very good at the documentation. All right. Okay. So from our historical sense, we have a lot of plats, a lot of land, a lot of laws that protect what we have, right? Oh yes, we do. Oh yes. We understand that even in the governor of Virginia in 1708 confirmed the fact that there be no Negroes. There be no Negroes. Before the year 1680, what Negroes were brought were generally from the Barbados. He said they didn't bring no daggone Negroes, no Africans to America. We also know that in 1854, the Chinese were legally classified as Indians. We also know that when they brought people from the railroad to work on the railroad, and when people came here for the daggone gold rush, they classified them as Indians, Native Americans. That's why they look more Asiatic now than they did even before that. If you look at pictures or paintings of them or depictions, let's get out of here. Let's get this off my. Let me move this from the studio. All right, let me go. All right. So let's go back to what happened to. I don't have it's 2 slides, 3. Okay. Okay, what is a land patent? Here is the actual Northampton County. This is from the Library of Virginia. A description of a land patent in Northampton County. Also, the old school image of the actual patent was, you see, the fact of this is that our patent is a crown patent. It emanates from us as the indigenous nation, and our effort to keep them away from what is ours. We established these patents. Our chiefs established these patents in the early 1600s to say, stay off of this. This is for us. Stay off of this is important. You don't touch this at all. Okay. This was established. Okay. The Native Americans didn't do this because we had a civilization that was advanced. We had different types of living. We had houses. We had brick houses. We're known to be brick makers. We have different type of lifestyle. We was trading with the world. We understood about negotiating. We understood about protecting. We made efforts to secure the bag for future generations. We were a very, very, very intelligent people, advanced people. All right. How are we going to have an indictment for something that I've been fighting for years? Okay. All of a sudden they're going to make it into a criminal act. Okay. They know we were claiming these properties. See, what happened was after the judge failed to actually adhere to the fact that what this issue is a patent, she just ignored it. She treated my case like it was real estate and dismissed it like it was real estate. And that was an abomination to the Constitution, which she has actually promised to adhere to and to protect. By ignoring the patent in my case, she actually ignored her pledge to the Constitution, because the patent is constitutionally protected. Let's go get this, okay? Now, this is who I'm talking about. In 2024, actually, I claimed quick claim deeds to assert our rights to historical crown patents, okay, to our land rights. The first thing that needs to be known is that I've been doing this since 2021, filing quick claims. I have never been charged criminally for filing those same quick claims. Identical, okay? Some are identical. For the park, for Indian Town Park, identical. For PNC Bank, identical quick claims. I filed that in May of 2021, and I ain't get no criminal charges. Now, in 2024, I file 29 quick claims, and I get criminal charges. If they have no merit, how are they criminal? If they have no merit, they cause no harm. Let me say this again, for those that don't get it. Where am I at? Okay, let me get myself in here. If they have no merit, they can't do nothing, right? If they have no credibility, they have no power, right? Right? If they have no credibility, they have no power. If they have no power, why the excessive charges? Why criminal charges for something that has no power? It's nothing. If it's nothing, why do you care? Why does anyone care if it has no true right? If it's not justified? If it's not justified, why would anyone care? If it's nothing, right? They care because they know that this claim does have merit, that there is no higher title than the patent. And what they're trying to do is convince me, like they're trying to like play woo woo, woo 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 woo, or we're gonna scare you into believing that what you're doing is wrong. They're trying to scare me, and they're trying to scare the public into believing what I am claiming is wrong, because they fear what will happen when it is truly exposed what they have done to us as a people and all that they have stolen from us as a people. And it's not a historical theft because you're doing it right now. You can't blame your ancestors when you're doing it right now. You can't blame history when you are upholding it right now. You're upholding the theft. You have the opportunity to correct historical theft, and you fight against the daggone correction of it. You're just as much a criminal as your ancestors or whoever predated you. You're just as much the criminal as they, because you are not standing on justice and you are not trying to correct the rights of the patented land. You're trying to hide it, and that is corruption. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Don't look at me. All right. This is the judge that dismissed my case. And understand me, I had another judge for like 2 years, which, nothing happened in 2 years. And then she was put in place, hadn't been a judge very long, maybe a year or two. And all of a sudden she dismisses it, right? He's replaced. She's in place. She dismisses it like it's real estate, right? It's not real estate. All over my claim, I talk about patented land, patent, the laws that protect the patent, patent. And she's like, oh, it's a statute of limitations. There's no statute of limitations on a patent. See, that shows you how low you are willing to go for this type of, oppression of the rights of the indigenous people. How low you're willing to go. See, let me read this to you. Also, in the action of adjustment in state court, the question presents whether the plaintiff or the defendant has superior legal title. Our title comes before the United States. In the case Bagnell versus Broderick, Congress has the sole power to declare dignity and effect of titles emanating from the United States, and the whole legislation of the federal government in reference to public lands declares the patent the superior and exclusive evidence of legal title. For all y'all that don't understand me, Bagnell versus Broderick, one of many cases that you will see today, states that the patent, the federal government, in reference to the public lands, declares the patent the superior and conclusive, the superior and conclusive evidence of legal title. Emphasis added, baby, not by me, by the person that recorded this legal case. Emphasis is added. The patent is the superior legal title. We're going to show these people. We're going to show them out, because you know what? Y'all don't get to hide in the shadows. Y'all don't get to throw rocks and then hide, okay? You don't get to do that. This is my case. I'm being daggone ostracized. I'm being daggone put out there as a criminal after being a nurse for friggin' over 30 years, and you're gonna you're gonna face the damn people for what you're doing, and daggone failing to adhere to the Constitution that you pledge to uphold, because the patent is superior and conclusive evidence of legal title, and you failed on purpose. You acted like it was real estate, and it's on record forever that you defiled what you took an oath to uphold. It's on record forever. This is the clerk of the court. This is the person that, when I first filed my first quitclaim in May 21st, 2021, told me, oh, this is not going to work. Now, see, a court clerk is not supposed to give legal advice, telling me that I need to file a petition, that I need to, do what, giving me legal advice. This is the court clerk. Yep, this is the court clerk. This is she who felt that she should give me legal advice. This is Tracy Johnson. Okay. Tracy Johnson felt like she should give me legal advice about this case, and then they took it a step further. They did take my money. They are supposed to process your quitclaim. That's all they're supposed to do. They're not supposed to deny your ownership rights without justification. They're not supposed to refuse to accept filings, because in addition, this year, I attempted to file and declare the Accawmacke patent in the court, to update it. When I did so, this person did refuse to file the patent. Now, the patent is a legal document. She has no right to deny the filing of a legal document that would benefit people in knowing that it's being declared. Now, I did put this in a paper. I did send out notices in the mail, but I also wanted to do what is right and just and declare the Accawmacke Crown patent in the courthouse. This person did deny this. Tell me who be the criminal. In addition, This is Consuela Gonzalez. Me, Consuela. She's on this side. That's the former Commissioner of Revenue. This is the present Commissioner of Revenue. Consuela did in her capacity in the Office of like Real Estate. She did deny the ability to publish these patents into record. So these our quitclaims were not published into record. They told us they could not transfer the property. I should have taken a copy of that and posted it on these slides. The next show, I'll show you the actual letter that she sent out denying us the right to actually publicize these slides. I need to do that. I may do it. I'm going to be on here for a while. I may take the time and retrieve it from my email and put that out there. The letters that they put out there with Consuelo Gonzalez. Now she was born in the fields of a migrant worker on the Eastern Shore, right? And now she's Commissioner of Revenue because this woman stepped down. As soon as I sent notice that I was going to file suit against these people, Consuelo, Charlene, and Tracy, Charlene stepped down and up jumped Consuelo. And she got one of her kinfolk to take her position. All right? And Consuelo, why would you, as a first-gen immigrant, stop the return of Constitution-protected right to reclaim land? We have a right to reclaim our land. Why would you stop the return of constitutionally protected right? We have a constitution. Maybe you don't know because you were just born here. Maybe you don't know that the Constitution protects the Indigenous Accawmacke Indians' right to reclaim our land. Did you not know that, Consuelo? Is that why you did bar us from having these quitclaims published and send out letters saying that you cannot transfer the land? That's why you did that, Consuelo? Is that why you did it? Huh. So these are the people you see. You can call her, give her a call, ask her why did she do that. Go call Tracy. You got her number, you got her email address. Call them. Okay, call them. These people are sitting back and throwing ammunition at me, trying to terrorize me, and they are unchecked, unbothered, unstopped, and this type of terrorism that is happening, okay? And if they're so used to getting away with all that they do on a regular basis, people are getting fined for having trucks in their yard. This is not a subdivision. These are rural properties. People are getting their last dollar taken from them because these corrupt officials are doing it. They want to destroy us. They want us gone. So any means necessary to move us off our property, they fine us to death. They tax us to death. They take our land. They take the land from our old people in the nursing homes. All this stuff needs to be returned. All this illegally gotten land. If you lost your land for taxes, it's illegal. You're Indians, for goodness sake. You don't need to be paying property taxes on your land. These people are corrupt. They're going to lose all of this that they stole. They're losing all of it because they stole it. And these people ought to be in jail, really. This is corruption. Stealing like this. Aiding and abetting the theft. What is this? Who does this? Who does this? Who does this? Who actually does this? Keep going. Consuelo, the Constitution protects our right to reclaim our land. Why are you standing in the way of the justifiable, righteous, constitutionally protected reclamation of the Accawmacke Indians? Consuelo Gonzalez, why are you doing that? You are a first-gen immigrant. How dare you stand in the way of us reclaiming what has been taken from us for hundreds of years? How dare you? Now let's go into the law, because guess what? We're not playing. What they are doing to me violates the Virginia Code and the Constitution Supremacy Clause and a lot of other case law and statutes to boot. It'll take a while to get there, okay? It'll take a while to get there, but we're going. It is violation of the Virginia Code under Virginia Code 17.1259. The clerk of the circuit court has a mandatory, non-discretionary duty to record all lawful documents presented for filing. By refusing to file petitioners' declarations of Accawmacke Crown land grants, the respondent Johnson failed to perform her legal duty, obstructing me, the petitioner's ability to assert rightful claims. That was wrong. Yes, that was wrong. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. This refusal constitutes a violation of the Supremacy Clause of the U.S. Constitution. The Supremacy Clause is Article 4, Clause 2. Sorry, Article 6, Article 6, Clause 2 of the U.S. Constitution, as it obstructs claims based on federal and historical land patents. This is a problem. This is a problem. See, this is what we all need to know, but more. So let me show you that it's a public record. Check this out. That Jack Arnold Thornton III was in the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals and the District Court, Federal Court of Virginia, because I kept going, right? This suit started in 2021. This is May 2023, right? This is a Court of Appeals. But look at what the problem is. They're calling the nature of the suit about real property, rent, lease, and ejectment. No, this case is about patented land. It's not about real property, because patented land is of a higher authority than real property. Calling it real property, that's where they did do me disjustice, right? Because all throughout the years, they're treating my claim as if it's real estate. And my patent is not real estate. It's higher title than real estate. It's the only true title. Real estate really isn't giving you title. Only the patent provides true title. George, you need to get yourself enrolled, bro. Get enrolled, because things are cracking up. Things are starting to come together. They're coming together. That's for sure. They're coming together. So this is Jack Thornton, y'all. This is Jack Thornton. This is your friend Jack Thornton. Jack Thornton was the defense in my civil trial, my civil case that I placed against the county. See, this one, you see Jack, his name is in there. I don't know if you see it. Let me see. You might not see it, but he's in there. He was in that case for 2 years. Now the same Jack is now the VA, the Virginia Commonwealth Attorney. And as the Virginia Commonwealth Attorney, you see his email on there. You can see his number. You can call him right from Facebook. You can call him right from Facebook and ask him, how is it that he was on the defense against my civil trial for 2 years, and now he is claiming that I am maliciously filing for false deeds. It's not false. If it was false, you wouldn't even be jailing me. If it was false, there would be no 2-year litigation, because it would not be, it would have no, there would be no issue. If it's not real, it couldn't have been a case. If it's false, it's not a falsity. He knows how real I take the litigation of this land. I litigated against it for 2 years. How then do you go ahead and turn it into a crime because you're riding on the fact that you're saying I'm making false claims? They're not false. They're real claims. They're legitimate claims. They're claims that last in federal court and did make it to the Court of Appeals. They're legit. It is the courts that are corrupt. But the claim and the patent is legitimate. That's why the litigation endured. So how dare you? How is that even justifiable? That's not legal. That's not sound. That's not just. That's not fair. You can't turn a civil issue into a criminal issue, especially when you were on the other opposing side of the same said civil issue. Jack, what are you engaged in? What kind of crazy and ethical thing are you engaged in, Jack A. Thornton? What is this? What is it? Make it make sense, Jack. How do you do this and sleep? Get up, put your pants on, walk around. How do you do something that's this outlandish and hold your head up like you're a decent lawyer, like you've got some kind of good ethics about you? How dare you not recuse yourself? Because I have filed for you to recuse yourself from this case because you and indeed are biased. This does reek of retaliation. This does reek of it. It reeks of retaliation. It reeks of it. But you see, the thing about it, when you know what you know, and you know what your rights are, you know, you don't worry about these criminals. But let's also look at the fact that the newspaper wrote such a friggin', what kind of crazy article did they write? Let's go look at that, because that's crazy too. Because how do how is that okay? How do you write like 25 fraud? It's not. First of all, you're saying, why are they saying fraud? Because first of all, there's no fraud when you've been litigating for this for years. How can it be a fraud? It is a legitimate claim that was legitimized by the courts, by its endurance in the courts. So how can you write in an article, Linda Secoria, that it's a fraud? It cannot be a fraud, baby. Not when you've been litigating for over 3 years about the same issue. And it says here, Jack Thornton brought the indictments. Linda, that Jack Thornton was also on this case with Indian Town Park and PNC Bank. So how do you fail to mention the fact that this might be biased? This might be retaliatory. How dare you not give equal delivery of this story, Linda? How do you do that? How do you do this? Special Agent Warren brought the indictment. Okay, Special Agent Warren, first of all, I didn't even know who that person was who called me. First of all, I didn't even believe he was a police officer. I just got a phone call from him. And guess what? I told him about the corruption going on the Eastern Shore, and he hung up on me. He was like, I don't know them people. He literally said that. They're not my friends, and hung up the phone. That's the information he brought. The information he did bring was that I said, let me tell you about Smith Beach Road and how they don't pay taxes and how they pretend to be property. They pretend to be the Negro Indians, and they don't own the land, and the land's in care of them, and it's under this it's a whole scam that's been going on for years by the THS Limited Family Partnership that is mentioned right down here. Yeah, she mentions all this, but she doesn't mention the scam, the scammers, the criminal activity that's happening that keeps them tucked into the land that they stole. The judge said that it states a person has to recover the land within 15 years. That's for real estate. So you see how the judge, so even in the article, they do report that Judge Haynes dismissed it based on real estate rules and did just hop over the fact that all throughout every document, almost every page, and I would dare say every page of every document I submitted talks about the land patent and the laws that protect it. She did ignore all of that, and that is deprivation of my rights, and it also is deprivation of the constitutional rights, and it also does ignore her oath to uphold the Constitution. So then the article talks about the termination law. Well, if the daggone Linda knows anything and did any research, she would know that the Virginia Assembly never had any kind of authority or right to terminate or take any Indian land. That information that they teach over and over again in school is illegal. That, even if it was true, which I don't even believe it's true, they just used that to justify the fact that they were on our land all this time, and they had to come up with a story. But even if it's not a story that they came up with, if it was a real action, it was an illegal action. And they know it's an illegal action, which makes it even worse. And the only reason they've been able to keep it and keep telling these historical lies is because we didn't know the truth. Right? When you don't know the truth, people can tell you anything, right? As they did. They told us anything, is what exactly they did. They just told us anything. And unfortunately, we believe it, right? Unfortunately. Unfortunately, we believe it. So the fact that these people are willing to go this far. See, because really, if this whole claim and all this was nothing, it wouldn't be anything. But there is an excess when you turn what is a claim for Accawmacke Indian land into 51 indictments. That is acting in excess, excessively, excessive charges, right? Excessive charges for the same thing, right? When you do that, it's abusing the system, really. Not only that, you have to think, why would you abuse the system that way? Why would you risk your career or risk your whole reputation, or really just your ethical standards, if you have any? Maybe you don't have, I don't know. To create excessive charges for something that you legitimately was defending on the other side for years. How do you justify that? How does that even make sense? You know, I'm just saying, if you have been litigating on this case for years, and then you turn around and get a new position as in the state. You used to be in work for the county, now you work for the state, and you prosecute the same person that you was in the same issue of land case just a year prior, and you're going to prosecute them, and not just prosecute them once, because let me tell you something, everything was claimed under being Accawmacke except one property. So the fact that I have 51 indictments, and then co-conspirators are named for 22 of those indictments, and there are no conspiracy is really what they're claiming against me. They're claiming conspiracy and naming no conspirators. Even the article says that. They're claiming that I'm soliciting and not even saying who I'm soliciting to. So that's how you see these charges are blown up and manufactured, right? In excess. But it makes the ethics look vacant. There are no ethics here. There's no ethics when you do something like this. You have to question, what is this about? But see, people say, they ain't giving us, they ain't never gonna give up that land. They ain't never. Guess what? That's what they're afraid of, because this is saying that they must give up their land, right? This, what I am doing is saying, yeah, you must, because you are bound by the Constitution, and the Constitution protects the patent, and you must give up this land. So what I said was, after the judge was corrupt and she dismissed the case like it was real estate, I said, well, I don't need a judgment because the patent is the title. I don't need to quitclaim. The patent is the title. They need to prove that it's not. That's the reality. The patent holders have the title. The people that are illegally on the land, they have the burden to prove that it's not. Which is why we quitclaimed as a courtesy to let people know this is formally, this is considerate. We quitclaim property that people weren't even living in. Real estate developers' property of greedy real estate developers and people who were renting them out during the summer. Not family homes, not occupied residences. Great consideration was shown in these quitclaims. I'm going to let you know, great mercy, love, consideration, thoughtfulness was shown in what was claimed. The people that are mad are greedy investors and colonizers and descendants of colonizers who stole. Those are the people that are mad. And then there are people just mad because they just racist and they don't know. They just mad for no reason, not knowing that the same people that are colonizing and taking our land are the same people that are keeping them as poor immigrants oppressed. They don't know. They don't understand that they're not helping them. They don't consider you the same. You may have the same complexion, but they don't You're not the same. You're their servants. You're essentially their slaves, and they know that. The reality is, most everyone that came from Europe came here in slavery and servitude. There's very few of the original people that had any kind of status that are still around. And the original people that had any kind of status were melanated. They were Black Europeans. They weren't even, that's well recorded. There were very few, you know, Europeans that were white when they invaded our territory, our Turtle Island. There were very few. So, I mean, I'm not going to get into that. But what I am going to say is that the law does protect what we're doing. Let's go look at a little bit more law, because let's play with that. I like looking at that. Y'all like looking at that, I think. I don't know. But let me see. Yeah. Oh, so we're still screen sharing, I think. Yeah. All right, let's see. We're going to stop sharing that. We're going to go to share the screen. Let's look at Wyman versus Gastrell. Is that a good reference? Oh, is that mine? Yeah, let's go ahead and share Wyman versus Gastrell. Okay, so we look at laws like Wyman versus Gastrell, which does protect, in the U.S. Court of Appeals, it does protect the land patent. Okay, it just shows that it cannot be removed from the original people. Okay, Wyman Gastrell is a very important case law. Okay, and the fight for your land. Okay, there are so many. I have a whole freaking file of him. Okay, there are tons of case law, right? And it's our job to know this, but it's our job to know that better than the people that are trying to oppress us, because then you wouldn't be like, oh, they you ain't got a chance. They gonna do what they want to do. You can't win. How about this one? Share this tab. Johnson versus Graham. Title to lands under grants to private citizens made by Indian tribes. See what the end of it. Let me go to the end of it. Right. Okay. Let me get on down. Oh, let's see. This is a very long. Oh. What is that? That's opinion. Okay. See, the thing that shows about Johnson and Graham's Lissy versus McIntosh is that it shows that you have to your title, your patent has to come from a nation. It has to come from a federal entity or nation in order for it to be viable. You cannot buy it directly from the Indians. You cannot buy it directly from the Indians. And that's what Johnson and Graham's Lessee versus McIntosh does prove. That's what it proves. You can't. So these people who say that they purchased it from the Indians or somebody's ancestor purchased it from that can't be. If they didn't get it from our nation, or they didn't get it from our patent, or the patent wasn't passed on to them, they can't. No, that's not possible. Okay, that's not real. Okay. Under the land law of Virginia, the whole legal estate and season of the Commonwealth passed to the patentee upon the issuing of his patents as full and beneficial a manner, subject only to the rights of the Commonwealth and self-held within. A conveyance of wild and vacant lands give a constructive season thereof, indeed, to the grantee. Now, the reality is, even the Commonwealth does not have the right to do anything with the land because they're not a nation, right? The Commonwealth doesn't even have the power over a patentee. The patentee has the supreme title, period. The patentee has supreme title, and everything supports this as being true. Everything supports it as being true. Let's keep going. Flecker versus Peck. Let's get to the end of it. How far down am I gone? Person's opinion. Oh, I'm in opinions. Okay. Syllabus. Let's see. So what this is saying, Fletcher versus Peck says that the states cannot pass an ex post facto law. So they're not able to actually diminish the patent. They're not able to make any kind of decisions on deeds or bargains against the patent as a state. Okay. They have no right to season Indian title. They can't do it. Okay. They have no right. So this is that. Fletcher v. versus Peck, 10 U.S. 87 1810. Flecker versus Peck. Another one. There's so many. There's so friggin' many. I have a whole file of just ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Okay. Kraft versus Burr is also another powerful about patented land, fishing rights, water under land under the water, the patent that extended to its predecessor, the dispute among fishing rights, and then upholding the patent against the person that wanted to fish above their land. This Oh, let me share. Oh, sorry. This is sorry, didn't show it to you. This is Kraft versus Burr. Okay, Kraft versus Burr. Charles A. Kraft Jr. versus Estridge E. Burr et al. That's the year 1996. And it's based on a patent that was dated back to 1750. All right. Yep. That's what we do. Oh, I didn't have it blown up. Let me blow it up for you. Sorry about that. Let me show y'all the bigness. Okay. That's Kraft versus Burr. Let me see. That's Kraft versus Burr. Kraft versus Burr. Kraft versus Burr. Okay. Let me show you the other one. Also big. Fletcher versus Peck. Let's make sure you. Oh, I think I lost Fletcher versus Peck. Sorry about that. Let me show you another one. Green versus Litter. Green versus Litter. Oh, I'm not showing you. Okay, hold on. All right. Sorry, y'all. Share screen. Okay, share. Searching for patents. You can use different archives, Virginia archives, BLM, various mechanisms for you to, search for your land patents. Okay. But first of all, you got to know who you are, and you got to get your identity right, and don't get involved with these social groups that are dead ends, because the people that make up names of groups and make up identities, how are you going to claim adherence to a certain real people in a real territory if you don't not using your real genealogy and your real identity and your real connectiveness and the real territory? Like, don't get involved with things that are dead end. Thank you, you guys in the chat. Appreciate y'all. Okay, so let me also show. I don't think I showed Burr versus Kraft versus Burr, so I'm going to show that. That's Kraft versus Burr. Okay, and then I'm gonna stop sharing that. I'm gonna go to this one. I'm gonna go back to my share screen and look at the Kino Accawmacke. I don't know what that is. What is that? The Kino Accawmacke talks about our people. We're going to do Graham versus Leslie. I didn't think I shared that tab, but I want to show that. I want to show more. I'm going to show BLM, Bureau of Land Management. This Department of Interior. That is a site where you can look at some of these land patents. People are pretending to be you to take what is yours, okay? People are pretending to be us to take what is ours. The fact is, we sit around thinking, oh, they ain't going to let us do that. How they going to let us do that? Let us. They don't have a choice, y'all. They don't have a choice. The house of cards is falling. Their sandcastle of lies is melting, okay? It's crashing down. You cannot hold up everything they're doing with these institutionalized lies. It doesn't hold up. Now, because they built everything on lies, their only recourse is corruption. They can't do anything legal and legit because everything they have is built on lies. So they have to do more crimes in order to hold up what has been done. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. And it was fine as long as we didn't know it, as long as we thought that they were just and they were doing the right thing. And, oh, I just got caught up in the law. You know, if you're ignorant, yeah, it's fine. You don't know that they're freaking trying to railroad you off of things that they have no right to do. It's fine if you're ignorant. But once you know the truth and you're like, hell no, you're not doing that to me. It's not happening. That's not going to work. You don't get to corrupt, you don't get to lie and terrorize me based upon lies and corruption. At least if you are going to kidnap me and terrorize me, at least let it be based on legitimate law, not lies. You don't get to do that based on lies. You don't get to do that. You don't get to continue to steal our stuff based on lies. You don't get to jail us. You don't get to daggone use your corruption to win anymore. That day is done. The day's done. It's done. Green versus litter. So, we have work to do. Yeah. The officials, they're doing what they can do to protect theft that has gone on for a very, very long time. These times are desperate, and it's sad that people are willing to and then I filed a misconduct about her failure to adhere to her oath to uphold the Constitution, and that the patent is protected by the Constitution. And the courts, the District Court of Virginia, the federal court, did ignore it. They ignored my daggone complaint of misconduct. This stuff has got to stop. You know, my only hope is that there is one or two people that care about honesty, that care about justice, that take the law seriously. Because the law, when it's done right, it protects people. It makes our lives better. And this judge, by failing to uphold the patent, didn't do that. She failed all of us, because in reality, the patent is statute. You hear me? The patent is statute. And when she broke the patent, she broke statute. When she broke when she failed in her ability to uphold the patent, she failed in her ability to uphold the Constitution. And the patent is really made to protect us. As I've said in court, the patent was designed to protect the Indians from losing their land. But in addition, it was to protect the invaders, the immigrants, from being hurt later by encroaching upon our land and then losing it. Investing your time, your effort, your money, your love, your heart, your spirit into a property that is not your own. It protects the thief and the encroacher. If it is adhered to, it protects everyone. That's what good laws do. Good laws protect everyone. Good laws protect everyone when they are just and when they are adhered to. And the fact is that had these developers, these private citizens, and their predecessors If they had adhered to the fact that, come on now, the title companies are at fault at this too. The corruption is very big because the title companies, you think they don't know that there are patents all over that territory? Do you think the title companies of this country don't know that there are patents beneath all of these territories and all these states? You think they don't see it? You think they don't have any idea? They do a disjustice to the people who do invest in these properties, who do sell these properties, who do live on these properties. They are guilty of a corrupt behavior as well. Because if you're the title insurer and you're not letting these people know, well, you know there's an Indian patent on here, but maybe you're saying, there are no more Indians, no worries. No worries until the Indians show up. No Indians until the Indians show up, fully awake and aware of what you've stolen. No worries until the Indians reclaim what you have stolen. No worries. The corruption in the title insurance companies. That's something, because really, like I said, the patent is a stop. It is a statute that says stop. It belongs to someone. They have the true title. So really, there shouldn't be anybody sitting in this. And let's go back to this. There should be nobody sitting. This is honey. This is a miniature of really the entire Eastern Shores is Accawmacke. That whole peninsula is Accawmacke territory, in truth. That's the mainland of the Powhatans. The Accawmacke are the Powhatans. The mainland of the Powhatan is the Accawmacke territory. We are the empire. We are the kingdom. We are the Powhatan Confederacy. It's really the Accawmacke Confederacy. It's a fact. They hide and destroy the people that had the most power. So let's get down to this. So even with this little Rudy Poop plat, what be of all these people that are sitting inside of this plat? How do they justify their being inside of this plat when they know that this fake plat, because this is not even a real plat. This is not even a real, our patented land is much bigger than this plat depicts. But let's just talk about the plat, and let's say there are people in there. What how do you justify that? You're violating an Indian patent. Let's go even deeper. They're violating Indiantown Park right here. Let's go with that. Indiantown Recreational Park has our burial ground there. They desecrated by playing disc golf over our graves every day. How do they justify that? I litigated that fact for years, but they ignored it. She ignored it. She ignores it. Consuela, she doesn't know anything, I guess. She ignores it. And Jack, well, he definitely ignores it, because not only did he ignore it in litigating and reading about the desecration and the theft and I named the fact that the deeds, I had a handwriting expert verify the deeds were fraud. That they had a handwriting expert verify that the deeds were fraud. I had a forensic surveyor engineer verify that my ancestor, my great-great-great-great-great-grandmother, was the person whose land that PNC Bank is now upon. He knows. He was opposite me in this litigation that I filed. Yet he's going to charge me criminally for what he knows I have all kinds of evidence to secure. He saw my genealogy submitted, but he's going to call me a fraud, ruin my reputation as a nurse, my ability to do what I do. Oh, that is wicked. That's wicked. Ooh, you're desperate, aren't you? That means the people are desperate. That doesn't make me sad. That makes me happy, because their desperation shows the power that we have as the Indians, as the Americans, Americans, Amerindians, as the Accawmacke. The Accawmacke, unfortunately, Jack, when we first started this whole dance of litigation, I didn't know the Accawmacke were the progenitors of the Powhatans. I didn't know that our Confederacy was really an empire that went from Canada down to Georgia, down to Alabama, parts of. I didn't know how vast our empire was, that it went out to Ohio, Illinois, Pennsylvania, Maryland. I didn't know how vast our territory was, that our Confederacy directed. So now that we know, hi Akila, hi Brandy, hi Rojak, hi everyone in the chat, hi Antone or Antonine, I don't know. Anyway, I didn't know how vast it was, but now we do know that. So now we have all these different Indians that are under our Confederacy, Jack, all these different nations to protect, Jack, all these different states that have our Confederacy patents in them, Jack. What you should have handled fairly and equitably is now a really, really big problem, because it goes beyond Virginia now, Jack Thornton, Jack A. Thornton III. It goes beyond Virginia now. Now the Accawmacke do have to protect the Accawmacke Empire and Confederacy, which entails a lot of different nations. And Jack, if you know anything about what's going on in the world, these Negroes, they know that they're the American Indian more and more every day, Jack A. Thornton III. So tighten up your shades, Jack. It's going to be a bumpy ride. And all those charges that are excessive, and all those things that you suppose and you have no probable cause to charge me with, you better give it a good rethinking, Jack. Because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be impacted by the idiot things that the Eastern Shore of Virginia has done against the Accawmacke Indians. They're going to be pretty pissed. Because when it spills over to their state and the next state and the next state, something that you could have handled quietly and equitably right there, then and there with that civil case, all of you that were involved in it, that's all everybody that I named in these slides, are going to be looked at like, you done messed up, Consuela. You messed up, Tracy Johnson. You messed up, Judge Haynes. Y'all going to be looked at, because this is something that could have been handled with the civil case that you all mishandled and bumbled and did illegally dismiss. Now, because of more research, more greater understanding, We know that the Accawmackes are a huge empire and does cover multiple states and more than just America, even into Canada. Now, what you have done is impacting vast territories, vast states, and another country. Jack, what you did on the Eastern Shore, what you did conspire to do in suppressing the patent. It is impacting a great deal more than you bargained for. That's a problem. That's a problem. All right. Anybody want to come up? Anybody got any questions? Anybody got any comments? Anybody want to, you are welcome to join me on stage. You are welcome to, it's in the, let me see, put that in here. To join the StreamYard if you are so inclined. Because this is a worthy thing. We have to understand that these people do violate the law, and violating the law is not something that should be taken lightly by anyone. Okay, what they did to me violates the law. There is no shame in what moves that have been made by me on behalf of my people, my kinfolk. There is no shame in doing the right thing and fighting for justice. This is not a scam. This is not what? Man, the money that I have spent in this whole fight for the Accawmacke and repatriation, it is not even a joke. Man, I have lost so much money. I hate to think about it. But that's how important it is at this game and stage. That's how important it is. So, but the real fact is what they're doing, it violates the Virginia Code, the Constitution, supremacy clause. These people are violating the laws which they pretend. They are pretending to uphold the law. They are pretending. And this is the thing. Scared people can't win anything. You can't be ashamed and you can't be afraid. You need to expose them to the light. Show them for the low vibrating individuals that they are. Show them for what they are. They must not be ashamed of the fact that they go to law school and doth become judges and law attorneys and public officials and fail to adhere to the law. They must not be ashamed of it. If they aren't ashamed of it, why do it? It's a public record. Why do it if you're not ashamed of it? I wonder what their friends from law school would think of them, looking at them conducting things in this way, what they've become, how low their ethics have. They probably were like really snooty. Oh, the right and the law, had all this pride in the law at one time. Maybe at one time they really cared about upholding the law and doing what is ethical. But look what's happened. Brought out, sold out, compromised. So sad. And then some people have historic ties to the land theft, such as Tracy Johnson. She's an Autern. The Auterns have a long history of fraud in the deeds, and that's the deed that I actually had the handwriting expert examine. Showed that her ancestor was a fraudulent deed writer. So it does make sense that she's protecting those fraudulently written deeds and continuing the legacy. Now, Consuelo Gonzalez, well, the fact that she was sitting in the fields with next to her mother and now is county commissioner of the revenue, well, and in doing so, she is abusing the rights of the Indigenous Accawmacke Indians whose territory she is in. Literally, the courthouse and all of that they stand in, the jail, the courthouse, her office sits on Accawmacke patented land. They are on our territory, and she sits upon our territory, elevated to a job which the person next to her is the first, at least according to recent times, because back in the day, we were in the House of Burgess. We had various high political and administrative titles in that same territory. However, in the recent past 100 years, Charlene was just in the past 4 years given acclaim for being the first Negro to have that post. And then when she retires, this person who just dropped into our territory from her own country automatically gets to elevate to this level without even working for the government but a few years. So you see how the standards are different. You see how preference is passed around to the ones that they want to have preference. You see how those with preference mistreat the people who are the landlords, the people who actually have had this land forever, who've had this territory stolen from us. And all these people are encroaching on our territory. We need to be sure that this is something that needs to be corrected, that the people that represent us are not trying to destroy us any longer, that good, honest people who do uphold the law are in place, that do uphold the Constitution's supremacy clause, that don't violate Virginia's codes of recording all lawful documents for filing. We need people that actually do their job in truth and justice for all. Ana.